Factors affecting concrete properties. There are many factors which affect the properties of the concrete when studying the history of concrete. Some of them are related to the concreting practice and curing of concrete. But some of the factors are directly combined with the materials we used for the manufacturing of concrete. This video is based on the materials and the mixing proportions of the ingredients of concrete. Number 1. Water-cement ratio. Water-cement ratio is one of the main factors that affect the properties of the concrete. But with the development of concrete technology, as Portland cement is not the only binding material in concrete, now it's replaced with water binder ratio and water powder ratio. The water-cement ratio of the concrete is very important as much as the compressive strength, permeability, or diffusivity. With the increment of the water-cement ratio, the strength and the durability of the concrete get decreased. The influence of the water-cement ratio on the compressive strength of that concrete is described in Abrams's law. Here, A is referred to an empirical constant in which the value is generally 97 megapascals or 14,000 psi. And the value B is a constant depend on the properties of cement and it is usually 4. So, it can be identified that the compressive strength is inversely proportional to the water-cement ratio. Number 2. The cement content. Cement is the binding material in the concrete. It has a big role in strengthening of the final product. Although cement has response of binding the material, it has 3 main roles in concrete as binding, coating and lubricating. When water is added to the mix, cement paste is formed. That cement paste act the role of binding aggregates, reinforcement bars, fibers each other by making a unique material. Cement paste covers the outer surface of the fibers and aggregates in their fresh stage of concrete. The excessive paste after the coating act as a lubricant to the ingredients of the concrete and make the movement easier. So, the cement content directly influence to the workability of fresh concrete. The heat releasing from the concrete also depend on the cement content in hydration stage. And also cement content act a reasonable role in volume stability in the hardening stage. The usual cement content of a mass concrete is in between 160 to 200 kilograms per cubic meter. In normal strength concrete it's near 400. The cement content of a high-strength concrete is 400–600. Number 3. Aggregates. There are 2 types of aggregates as fine aggregates and coarse aggregates. Those fine aggregates fill the pores between coarse aggregates, while coarse aggregate directly gain the strength of the concrete. The below features of the aggregates will affect the properties of concrete directly. Maximum size of aggregates. The size of the maximum particle of coarse aggregate is influenced for the cement content or the cement paste requirement of a concrete. If the maximum particle size of the coarse aggregate is increased, the requirement of the cement paste as a lubricant is getting decreased as the coating area is lower. If the same cement content is using for different aggregate sizes, the mixture with larger aggregate sizes may contain more cement paste as lubricant. So workability of that concrete is higher than the concrete with lower maximum sized aggregates. And also the strength in the concrete with larger maximum size is higher. But there are some disadvantages of the larger maximum sizes as the homogeneous factor getting low. The covering space of the concrete and the minimum space between reinforcement bars increase as a result of large maximum size of aggregates. Generally the maximum size of aggregate is equal or less than to the 1/5 of the narrowest dimension of the concrete element and the 1/3 of the depth of a slab, or 3/4 of the dimension between 2 reinforcement bars. Aggregate grading. The word aggregate grading is referred for the distribution of the sizes of the aggregate. The grading is directly influenced for the spaces filling and the amount of pores in a concrete which cause for the permeability. If the concrete is more permeable, the durability of the concrete is low as the water seepage will cause for decaying or aging of concrete. The sand, Fine aggregate to coarse aggregate ratio is one of the factor of final mixture grading. It will influence for the flowing of the concrete or the workability of the concrete. When the sand/coarse aggregate ration getting high, the cohesiveness of the concrete is higher.